Shane, what did I tell you about leaving your shoes in the middle of the hallway? My mom almost tripped over them today. I swear, you get stupider every day.
I didn't leave my shoes in the hallway. I put them in the shoe rack like always, so I don't appreciate you accusing me of something I've not done, especially in such a harsh way.
Well, that's not true in the slightest. I know you left them in the way because my mother told me that you did.
Your mother would tell you anything so long as it would get me in trouble. That woman hates me.
That woman has a name, and she's my mom, so show her some respect.
I'll show her some respect when she decides to show me some.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's just that we've let your mom come and live with us, which, I have no problem with, especially after your dad died. She needed to be with people who could help her and just keep her company. But ever since she moved in with us, you've become so vile to me. You and her always gang up on me and try to make me feel like I'm less than you. Your mom is constantly muttering and calling me all sorts of things when you're not here. Considering I'm letting her stay in our house, the least she could do is be civil with me, even if she doesn't particularly like me.
My mother is nothing but cordial with you. She always makes sure to talk to you whenever she sees you. Not to mention she does more housework than you do.
What? No, she doesn't.
Oh, please. She's told me all about how you'll just make a mess and leave it where it is. You don't clean the dishes, you don't do any laundry, and you certainly don't pick up after yourself in terms of rubbish. You just leave it strewn about the house like it's your own personal dump. And you can't deny it because I've seen the evidence myself. Just the other day, when I came home from work, I saw all of the beer cans strewn in the living room. My mom doesn't drink beer, so I knew it couldn't have been her. Instead, it was you, a slob of a person who I had to clean up after like a child.
Julie, I promise you that wasn't me. I don't drink during the day. In fact, I hardly drink at all nowadays.
Well, I know my mom doesn't drink beer, so who else could it have been? A ghost?
Well, with how your mom seems to have it out for me, she simply could have gone and bought the drinks and simply poured the liquid away and left the cans to make it look like I had them.
Are you seriously calling my mom a liar? Do you really think she'd go through that much effort just to make you look bad? She really doesn't care about you that much.
Wow, thanks. Nice to know that my wife's mother doesn't even care enough about me to even dislike me. Makes me feel real good.
Well, if you weren't such a loser, then maybe she'd be more interested in you.
What do you mean by that? I'm not a loser.
Oh, please. You've been out of a job for how long now? I'm the only one earning in this house, and I'm okay with covering for my mom. She's gone through a lot lately. But it's just pathetic that you've not managed to get another job yet. And frankly, I'm getting quite tired of covering for you.
Whoa, well, this is the first that I'm hearing about this. Why haven't you told me how you felt before? I told you that if me being unemployed started getting to you, that you need to talk to me about it and we can figure something out together.
I shouldn't have to have that kind of conversation with you to begin with. Being an adult, you should have a job and should be helping me pay the bills and the rent. But instead, you just had to go and get yourself fired.
It's not like I went and got myself fired on purpose. The company made it untenable for me to work there.
Well then, you shouldn't have made a huge fuss out of such a small thing, should you?
Julie, they broke several health and safety laws which put not only my own life at risk, but the lives of my coworkers as well. I wasn't about to sit back and let them get away with it.
So you had to go and get the higher-ups involved? Lawyers?
Yes, it was the only way that I could get anyone to take notice, is when I tried to complain directly to my managers, they just brushed me off and told me to either get back to work or leave. I wasn't about to stick around in a place that would rather I potentially fatally injure myself, simply so that they could save a couple of dollars on safety equipment. Unless you would have rather I died at that job?
Well, you did have insurance, which would have been more than you're bringing into the house at the moment.
Are you seriously saying that you'd rather I have died instead of losing my job?
Oh, you're just trying to twist my words around. I never said that and you know it. I just merely meant that it would be nice if you were earning a bit of money. There's no need to get so worked up over it.
Uh-huh, sure you did. Well, I'm gonna go. I have things to do, and to be honest, if I don't leave now, I might end up saying something that I'll regret in the future, so goodbye for now, and I'll talk to you later.
Oh, don't be such a girl. I didn't even say anything that bad. You'd feel the same way if the roles were reversed.
No, I really wouldn't. I would never wish for my wife to have a fatal accident at work simply so I could get her life insurance or whatever. In fact, it would never have even crossed my mind. But I guess that's just because I'm a better person than you.
You're not better than me. Not by a long shot. I'm the one earning money here, so I'm better than you.
Money isn't everything, you know. Anyway, I'm going. I won't be responding to any more texts for a while, so we'll just have to talk at home.
Fine, if you want to be that way, then so be it. I'll see you at home.
Julie, dear, I know that you're most likely busy at the moment, but I simply couldn't not say anything.
Mom, what is it? Is everything okay? Are you okay?
Oh, yes, dear, I'm fine, but I can't say the same for you and Shane, I'm afraid.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I think Shane's having an affair.
What? No, that can't be possible. He's too much of a loser for another woman to be interested in him. What's made you think this, anyway?
Well, the fact that a young woman came by the house and then they both left together in the same car kind of made me suspect something. But if you think nothing's going on, then I'll just leave you to it.
Hang on, he got in a car with another woman? What did she look like?
She was young, probably in her 20s by the looks of things, and she was dressed in a black skirt and a white top. She also had brown hair, and she wasn't entirely unfortunate looking.
So what you're telling me is that she was pretty?
I guess you could say that.
Right, that's it. He is not going to know what hit him when I'm through with him.
I'll give him a piece of my mind too. Shane, you better answer me right now. I know what you've been doing, how you've been going behind my daughter's back and cheating on her with some tart. How dare you do that to her?
Amy, what are you going on about now? Are you trying to accuse me of something else that I've not done?
I'm accusing you of something that I know you've done for certain. I saw you leave with that woman. You can't deny it. I know that you snuck away so that you could cheat on my daughter with her. I knew that a loser such as yourself was no good for my sweet girl. I told her when she first met you that you were a pathetic, good-for-nothing, and that you would never be good enough for her. That you wouldn't be able to provide her with the life she deserves. And I was right. Well, just you wait. She knows all about your little trust with this random tart, and she is not happy at all.
Are you quite done?
Well, how rude.
Amy, I'm gonna tell you this once and only once, so please listen carefully. I know that might be hard for you, as you seem to like only believing the narrative you want to believe, but I'm being 100% honest when I say that I am not, and never would I ever cheat on Julie.
Oh, please. Of course you'd say that. You just don't want to admit when you've been caught. You're even so pathetic that you can't even hide an affair properly. But it doesn't matter, because now that we've got proof of you cheating, my Julie can simply take you to court and take you for all that you're worth. I know it's not much, as you're such a pathetic loser and all, but I'm going to make sure that you're left with absolutely nothing, not even the clothes on your back. By the time that we're done with you, you'll be on the streets with nothing to your name, not a single penny.
Seriously? You're gonna try and make my life unbearable over something that isn't even true?
I've been looking for an excuse to get rid of you, and I finally found one. Now my daughter will be able to marry an actual decent man who makes a good living and can give her everything she wants. Not some stupid idiot who'd rather yell at his bosses instead of just doing what he's told.
So you think I would have done nothing as well?
Well, it wouldn't have been the smart thing to do, although you're not smart, are you? You're just some poor, pathetic loser who doesn't really deserve anything nice in life, in my opinion. Especially considering you're just letting my daughter earn all of the money whilst you sit around doing nothing all day.
That's not true. I'm actively trying to find a new job, and I have been since I was technically fired. However, it's not easy as no one is looking to hire at the minute. It's not like I can just go and demand someone to give me a job.
A real man would. They'd walk into a shop and demand that someone hire them.
Whatever, Amy, I'm done talking with you. In fact, if you're so bothered about Julie and her money, why don't you get a job and help us out with the rent and bills, huh? Because at the moment, you just mooch off of us. You don't pay any bills or rent, you get all your food, and you don't even help with the household chores. You just leave a mess anywhere you go and expect me to clean up after you.
I shouldn't have to get a job. I'm older than you. You need to support me, not the other way around.
You keep thinking that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I really don't want to be talking about this again with my wife's mother.
You can't run from the truth. You're cheating on my daughter and you'll face the consequences for it.
You know what? Fine. Do your worst.
Oh, I will.
Julie, you need to tell your mom to mind her own business. I'm trying to do something important here, and I've got her messaging me, accusing me of cheating on you, and claiming that you and her are gonna take me to court over it.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't cheat on me then, should you?
I'm not cheating on you.
My mom told me what she saw, and I'm more inclined to believe the woman who's raised me and looked after me than the man who can't even be bothered to get a job.
Oh, Fine. You want to take me to court over something untrue, baseless, and something you have no evidence for? Then that's up to you. But when you lose, don't come crying to me. Oh, and I think it goes without saying that I will definitely be wanting a divorce.
Fine by me. I don't want to be married to a poor loser anyway.
Fine.
Shane, what the hell have you done? Why is all of mine and my mom's stuff out on the sidewalk? Why isn't it in the house?
Oh, well, that's because I've kicked you out.
Huh? What do you mean you've kicked us out? You can't do that.
Actually, I think you'll find that I can. You see, the house isn't my name, so I can decide who gets to live in it and who doesn't. And considering that you and your mother have both been nothing but vile to me since she moved in, I don't see why I should let either of you stay when I don't have to anymore.
But it's my home too. You can't just kick me out.
Too bad, because that's what I'm doing. You and your mom can go wherever you want to go, so long as it isn't my home.
But we have nowhere to go.
Maybe you should have thought about that before you acted so horribly to me.
Well, fine then. I'll have that house before you know it anyway, when we go to court for our divorce. Then I'll be checking you out.
Okay, I mean, you can try, but I think you'll be sorely disappointed.
I don't think I will be. I know what I'm doing.
If you say so.
What was that? I mean, what just happened? Shane?
Oh, that. Well, I just won our divorce, like I told you I would.
But how? I was the one who was cheated on. I should be the one to get compensation and to live in the house, not you.
Except, like I've told you 100 times, and so did the judge, I didn't cheat on you.
Then who was that woman, huh?
She's my union representative who's handling my case against my former bosses and job as they're trying to get away with illegal practices. In fact, I've just settled up with that company thanks to Megan, and let me tell you, I've not been shortchanged in my compensation and my settlement.
What do you mean? They've paid you a lot of money?
A lot. It turns out that the company was under investigation for illegal practices before I even made a complaint. It turned out that my incident was the last straw, and the company has had to get rid of their entire upper management and pay a bunch of fines or face being closed down. My settlement will be in the range of 5 figures. I've also been offered a job as a lead engineer at a very respectable company, which pays a lot of money. So I think it's safe to say that my luck is definitely turned around. Maybe you and your mom were just bad luck charms.
Well, that's not fair. You need to share. I deserve to have half of that. You're my husband.
Not as of 10:30 this morning. I'm free now and I'm more than happy to be on my own. With how you and your mom treated me, I know that my life will be better from now on.
No, wait. Surely we can work something out.
Not in your life. I'm finally free of you two, and I know that I deserve better than how you treated me. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find someone who treats me with the respect, care, and love that I deserve.
But now that you have money, I will treat you better. It's just because you were poor that I was getting annoyed at you. Being the man, you should really be the one to make the money.
Well, the fact that you wouldn't even support me in my time of need really shows just how horrible you are. It's good to know that our wedding vows meant nothing to you.
They don't really mean in richness or for poorness. That's just a token thing they say.
It's not token to people who actually love each other, but that's not us anymore, and I'm okay with that. I'll find someone who loves me for me instead of the money that I can earn. Goodbye, Julie.
Shane, wait. Don't do this to me. It's not fair. Shane.
After our divorce was finalized, I officially kicked Julie and her mom out of my house. I did have to give her a percentage of what I owned, but because I didn't get my payout from the company until after our divorce went through, I didn't have to pay her a single penny of it. My new job is going really well as well. I've made some good friends with my coworkers, and the environment is much better than my old job. People actually look out for one another, and the company doesn't try to cut corners and make things dangerous for their employees. As for Julie and her mother, the last I heard was that they had moved into a little apartment together, and Amy still hasn't got a job, meaning that Julie has to pay for everything herself. They've got into a lot of arguments because of that, but they're not my problem now, and I'm happy with how my life has turned out. It just goes to show that standing up for what you believe in will pay off in the long run. Don't let your workplace bully you about because you are much more important than a job.
Hey, sweetie, whereabouts are you? Are you on your way home from work yet? Only, I can't help but have a massive craving for some watermelon. It would honestly be so nice right now that I would be forever in your debt if you could get me one. LOL.
Yeah, I'm about to leave work. I'll pick you one up on the way home.
Oh, thank you. Me and Miss Bump here thank you greatly and love you lots. We don't know what we would do without you. LOL.
Uh-huh.
Can you believe that we are literally only weeks away from being parents? It's crazy. I'm honestly freaking out a little bit because I feel like I have no clue what to do when the baby is born. I've been reading all of these birthing books and all about how to look after a baby, but I still feel like I'm underprepared. Like I'm forgetting something, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's definitely scary.
Tell me about it. I don't know how I'm going to be when I actually go into labor. All that blood and pain and crying. It's going to be a nightmare.
Blood?
Yeah, and then after that is when the actually hard part starts. We'll have to look after and care for an actual baby. An actual tiny human being will be relying on us to get it to adulthood in one piece. I don't know how I've managed to do that myself, let alone getting a baby there. LOL. But the worst part will be the nappies. They are going to be awful. Good job I've got you to help me out there, huh?
That's where you're wrong.
Huh?
I draw the line at changing nappies. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. It's your job. You're the mom, so you have to change all the diapers.
I was just having a joke with you before, but there's no chance that I'm going to be the only one changing our daughter's diapers. You're going to have to do it too, you know.
No way. I'm not changing smelly, messy diapers. It's not happening.
So what are you going to do when you're watching our daughter and she fills her nappy? Huh? You can't just leave her in a dirty nappy, as that's how she'll get nappy rash. She'll need changing and you'll have to do it.
I'll just ask someone else to do it.
You can't ask a random stranger to look after our daughter and change her nappy. You are her father, so you'll have to take responsibility and do it yourself.
Well, tough. I'm not gonna do it. I'm also not gonna be getting up in the middle of the night if she wakes up screaming and crying.
And why is that?
Because I'm a very important and busy man, and I won't have time to look after a screaming child for hours on end in the middle of the night. You'll have to make her be quiet and relatively quickly so that I don't lose too much sleep.
Okay, from the looks of things, we really need to have a good long chat about what it means to be a parent. Obviously, you think that you can just lump all of the chores and difficult aspects of raising a baby onto me and me alone. I can't be the only one taking care of our daughter. You're going to have to help out too.
I do help out, and I get the money, I'm the one who works, and make sure we actually have a roof over our heads and four walls to stay in. Without me, you'd be destitute on the streets.
That's not true at all. Before getting pregnant, I was working a really well-paying job, and I had a lot of options to progress in my chosen career. However, I decided to have this baby with you when I found out that I was pregnant, because I love you, and I want to start a family with you. I thought you loved me as well, but with how you're talking, it doesn't sound too true at the moment.
No, don't overreact. I love you, you know I do. But I didn't choose to have this baby. You did. You want it, then you have to look after it. I can't be doing that as well as working. I'll have no time for myself if I do all of that.
So, when am I supposed to have time for myself if I've got a baby to look after full-time and no husband to help me out with things?
As the mom, you don't get time for yourself. You've got a baby to look after.
Do you even hear yourself right now? You sound so selfish and conceited.
Whatever, I'm just telling you the fact of the matter, and that is that you're the one who needs to stay home and take care of the baby whilst I can do whatever I want.
Oh, that is so not happening.
I've got to go. I need to actually start driving home so that I'm not stuck at work all night, okay?
Fine, but this conversation is so not over.
Uh-huh, sure, whatever. See you soon.
Bye. Sean, where are you? You were supposed to finish work ages ago. How come you're not back yet? Nothing's happened, has it? You're okay, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, about that. I decided that I didn't really feel like dealing with a pregnant you, especially considering that I have to go to work tomorrow, so I've decided not to come home tonight.
What? Please tell me you're joking. You can't just ditch me.
No, I'm not joking. I'm not coming home tonight. And I don't know if I'll come back at all these next few weeks whilst you're getting ready to have the baby. I don't want to have to deal with a heavily pregnant wife whilst trying to work as well. It's just way too exhausting.
Well, where are you then?
I'm just at my mom's house.
Seriously?
Yeah, oh, and she totally agrees with me, by the way. She thinks that it's kind of rude of you to demand that I help out with all the cleaning and stuff with the baby when it's born, when I've been at work all day. She said that considering you're the wife, and that you should be the one to cook and clean and look after the baby, I shouldn't have to do a woman's work, to be honest.
Woman's work? What on earth are you on about? Taking care of a house is not woman's work. If two people live in it, like we do, then it's up to both members of the couple to keep it clean and tidy and looking nice. And that goes double for looking after a baby. I'm really going to need your help and support when our daughter arrives, which will include tidying up any mess that she makes or helping me with the housework when it arises. Besides, it's not even like you're the only one who works. I'd understand and take a bit more responsibility if I was a stay-at-home wife who had time to clean and stuff during the day. But the fact of the matter is, I have a job too. I might be on maternity leave at the minute, but that doesn't make my work any less important than yours.
Well, whatever. I'm tired and stressed, and all I want to do is have a nice, relaxing evening after work. I knew if I came home, then I wouldn't be able to do that, as you just keep nagging me over and over again to look through the baby books again and to plan out how I'm going to help take care of the baby. It's annoying, and I've seriously had enough of it.
Seriously? Having a baby is annoying to you? Well, I can't wait to see how you behave when she's actually born.
Look, I'm done talking about this. I'm staying at my mom's tonight, so don't bother coming to get me. Got it?
Fine then. And don't worry. I wasn't going to beg you for anything. Not anymore. I can clearly see what you think of me and our baby, and that you're not going to help me anyway.
Well, who knows? Maybe if you beg me to come back home and apologize for how you've been acting, I might do so.
What do you mean, beg you to come home?
I mean exactly what I said. If you actually apologize for being a demanding and frankly annoying wife, then I might consider coming back home tonight. Or at the very least, I won't stay at my mom's house until the baby's born. After all, I would like to sleep in my bed again before then. It's much more comfortable.
Hang on a minute. You mean to tell me that you want me to turn around and beg for you to come home? And on top of that, you want me to apologize for telling you that you have to take care of our daughter?
Well, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, what kind of wife goes on and on and on about her husband needing to help her out? You honestly make yourself sound like an incapable toddler. Can you seriously not do anything for yourself?
I'm the incapable one? Says the man who gets into a huff when he has to iron his own shirt.
That's women's work.
You know what? I don't want you coming home tonight after all. I seriously can't deal with your ridiculous and selfish behavior. I have other things to worry about instead. Stay at your mom's house because this door is going to be locked for the rest of the night.
Fine then, I will.
Great.
So, have you thought about how you were acting yesterday? Are you ready to apologize?
Apologize for what?
You know what. Look, just kneel down and seek my forgiveness. If you actually do it, I'll be laughing all the way home.
You've lost your home. It's gone.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I don't want you coming back at all.
Hang on, but why not?
Well, let's face it. You've made it very clear that you don't want to help me with the baby when she's born, so you can stay where you are. I don't need some useless and lazy person getting in my way when I'm trying to take care of a newborn baby. I mean, I'll have one helpless child to look after and make sure nothing bad happens to them. I can't be dealing with looking after a selfish toddler as well.
Look, it's like I said, all you have to do is just beg me to come back home, and I might consider coming back and maybe helping with some things, like holding her every now and then. All you have to do is swallow your pride and apologize.
I have absolutely nothing to apologize for, and the fact that you're trying to blackmail me into saying I'm sorry for no reason whatsoever just shows what your true character actually is.
Huh? What do you mean?
You're nothing but a selfish, sexist, and horrible little man who, apparently, can't feel good about himself unless he's trying to force his pregnant wife to beg him to come back home and help her out with the baby that they are only weeks away from having together.
But this isn't fair. You should listen to your husband when he tells you to do something.
Are you really being this petty right now? You're getting angry and annoyed at me simply because I won't beg you to come home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the man of this relationship, not you. I don't want to be shown up and made to feel emasculated. You need to just do what I tell you when I tell you to do it. That's what a good little housewife would do.
Okay, 1, that's incredibly sexist. And 2, I'm not a housewife. I have a job. I am just on maternity leave.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Wow, good comeback.
Yeah, look, if you don't do what I say right now, then there will be consequences.
Consequences? What are those then?
Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Of course, if you do what I tell you to, then you won't have to deal with them.
Uh-huh. Well, whilst you think up some consequences, I'm going to get back to baby-proofing the house and setting up my daughter's nursery.
Duh, why can't you just be a good little housewife and do what I say? How hard is it to listen to your husband? Stop being so disobedient.
Disobedient? Where on earth has all of this come from? You weren't this sexist and crazy when we first got married.
Yeah, well, this is who I am now. Deal with it.
And this is the kind of dad that you're going to be to our daughter? Crazy and sexist and selfish? Trying to teach her that she's less than boys and men simply because she's a girl?
What I teach my daughter is up to me. Now, are you gonna beg me to come home like I told you to?
No.
Well then, I guess you'll just have to raise the baby yourself then. You could have saved yourself the trouble if you just done what I told you to. But you're simply too stubborn for your own good. I'm gonna go and relax now then. My mom has made me a nice dinner and I'm gonna just watch some TV and go to bed. What are you gonna do? Stay up all night working on the nursery and reading baby books all by yourself? It's not very attractive, you know. We'll have to have a proper conversation about all of this when I get back.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Hey, there's no need to be so grumpy. This is all your fault anyway.
Okay.
I'm going now. Okay, very well. Delilah, where have you gone? Why aren't you home? And why can't I get into the house? My key isn't working. What have you done to the locks?
Oh, Sean. You finally decided to go home, I see? Well, I say home. It's just a house for you now, for all intents and purposes. It's not your home anymore.
That's exactly what I'm on about. What have you done? Why can't I get into the house?
Well, I've changed the locks. That's why.
Huh? What do you mean you've changed the locks? Why?
The house is mine. That's why.
What are you on about? The house isn't yours. I'm the man, so the house is mine.
Actually, it isn't. Do you remember when we were first looking for a house to buy? You were on minimum wage at the time, having just started your new job. So we decided, or well, more like you forced me, to put the mortgage in my name, as I was earning more than you. You didn't want to deal with the payments, but you didn't care if I had to. So, yeah. So it turns out that I'm the one who gets to decide who lives in my house, not you.
Hang on, but that's not fair. I live there too. I should get a say in what happens to it.
Actually, you don't live here anymore.
Look, you and I are gonna have a proper chat about what you can and can't do. You're getting way too used to just doing whatever you want, and it's not a good trait for a woman to have. You need to get used to doing what I tell you to as your husband. I can't have you teaching things like this to our daughter.
Actually, no. I'm never going to have a conversation with you ever again.
What do you mean?
I've filed for divorce. I've actually only just got back from my attorney's office this morning.
What? No way, I won't give you one.
It's too late. I've already contacted some lawyers and they are more than happy to represent me in court if it comes to it.
I can't believe you're doing this to me. How selfish can you get?
I'm not being selfish. I've just finally realized the type of person you are. And let me tell you, it's not someone I want to be with. I don't want a husband who is constantly belittling me and telling me that I can't do something just because I'm a woman. I deserve so much better than that. And I'm certainly not going to let you teach my daughter that she's less than a man. She's so much more than that.
Fine then, if that's the way you want to be, then I'll divorce you and I'll take full custody of the baby too.
No, you won't. I've already spoken to my lawyers about this, as I knew that you'd try to pull a stunt like this, and they've said that due to all of the evidence of your clear lack of interest and care towards my daughter, they'll be able to make sure that I get full custody, not you.
What?
Yep. So I'm going to continue living in my house and getting ready for the arrival of my daughter. As for you, I don't care what you do, as long as you're nowhere near me.
You absolute witch! This isn't how things are supposed to go!
Well, until you learn how to be a proper man, one who respects women, I don't think you'll be finding things going your way for quite a long time. Anyway, the divorce papers will be with you soon. I've got to go now, because I've got quite a few things left to get ready for my baby girl. See ya.
You've really done it this time, Delilah. Just you wait. I'll show you! Delilah?
I divorced Sean in the end. He tried to fight it at first, but after the judge saw how he had been treating me and how he was so disregarding of his unborn daughter, he sided with me in the end and gave me the divorce. I've since had my baby girl, who I decided to name Hope, and we have been living happily together for the last few months. It's quite hard being a single mother, but it's also incredibly rewarding, and I love every moment that I get to spend with my daughter. Last I heard, Sean ended up moving back in with his mom after I kicked him out. Also, with his new sexist attitude, he's not had any chance with relationships. Who knew that women didn't like to be treated like an object from the 1950s? Well, I mean, probably everyone apart from Sean. But if he's rejected enough, maybe he'll eventually learn that times have changed, and he needs to as well if he wants to have any success in life.